Hello everyone. So in this media we'll see that as you all know that we are covering a series of videos in which we are trying to cover the topics related to the boiler, all the expected questions so that your one topic gets completed. You can watch other videos on boiler on my channel. Thank you for your continuous support and feedback by which we are trying to cover. We have received request. In my last video we have already covered about the hydraulic test of boiler. Those are very practical questions and very prone questions that surveyor may be asking. So after this cold condition is reached, so how we are firing the boiler, this is very important. Even boiler gets collapsed, okay, if you don't vent and take out the air. Already I have made a shots on that ki why boiler collapsed after suddenly after your dry dock, because you may not have purged the steam drum, okay, with from the air. So how we are raising the steam and how we are firing the boiler from the cold condition, these are written in a very simple and lucid manner. We'll just read it, because already I have tried to sum up so that video becomes shorter, video doesn't get lengthy. So we'll just start. Firing a water tube boiler from cold condition requires gradual firing the burner from its lowest firing rate so that thermal shock is avoided. So from cold condition we are firing it from the lowest firing rate so that the thermal shock which can collapse and which can may damage the structure of the boiler, that to avoid that we are firing from the lowest firing rate. Once boiler is inspected thoroughly internally and externally and found clear of all foreign materials, all tubes to be clear and not obstructed by cotton rags, etc., fill up the boiler with distilled de-aerated feed water to a minimum level which will cancel the burner stop shutdown. Okay, burner stop shutdown, it will cancel. So we have to feed it up to that minimum level. This is to avoid high water level once the boiler starts to fire, as water expands due to its heating. So you must have seen generally what we are doing. This is the ideal condition. This is a very practical thing as well, that you need not to fill the boiler to its maximum, okay, or the high level or normal water level. These are marking low water level, low level, there's normal level, high level, and high level. So your bare minimum you have to fill so that your alarm goes, and then you start it, because once you heat the boiler, because it is from the cold condition, so it expands, the water will expand and it will fill and your water level will go high. After that, if it is high level, you may not be able to start the boiler because of the stop sequence or the interlock. High water level, once the boiler starts to fire. If boiler was hydraulically pressure tested prior to raising steam, then blow down the boiler. Already we have covered in our previous video the hydraulic testing of the boiler in cold condition. Then blow down the boiler. This is important, to blow down the boiler until water level is just sufficient to cancel the low water level shutdown. So till this low water level alarm goes, we'll try to blow down the boiler. Initial dose of boiler treatment chemical can be added to boiler at this stage. We have also covered videos on boiler blowdown, procedure for blowdown, what is the difference between blowdown and scum blowdown, why we are doing it. All those videos please do watch. It is very helpful for you all. Keep the vent valve open and confirm that boiler blowdown valve is closed. If boiler has superheat control valve, then they should be set correctly to ensure that all initially generated steam flows through the superheater. Ensure water level is correct in both gauge glasses. Ensure drain cocks of water gauge glasses are closed. Then check the boiler fuel oil system for correct alignment of valves. Okay, so it is just these are the basic things that we are checking the line, but we are supposed to tell this to the surveyor. Set up the line opening for all the valves which may have been closed. Use diesel oil for initial firing if no steam is available for heating up the fuel oil. Use compressed air for atomizing instead of atomizing steam. If diesel oil is used, if steam is unavailable from another boiler, then heat up the fuel oil to correct temperature using the recirculating line. Start the boiler FD fan and ensure that the furnace is purged thoroughly. So in some boiler you will find this fuel oil temperature bypass valve is also given there, because if the temperature has not reached, your burner will not fire, in fact. Okay, so in cold condition we may bypass and then we may start, which is not ideal in fact, because you should run into the back to back in the system so that the temperature reaches. This precaution is very important every time the burner have to be lit. If the furnace has any unburnt fuel, it vaporizes due to heat to form dangerous explosive mixture with air, and there may be an explosion in the furnace if burner is lit directly without pre-purging. So this pre-purging, okay, this is important. Fire the boiler on minimum fire and confirm that flame is stable, bright and free of smoke. Adjust the air registers accordingly. Follow the lighting up curve given by the boiler manufacturer for time interval required to raise them. Inspect the boiler externally for any leaks or abnormalities. Once steady, steam flows start to issue from the vent valve, then wait until all air is expelled from the steam drum and close vent valve. After vent is closed, then continue to fire the boiler to raise steam. If for any reason firing cannot be continued at this stage, then keep the vent valve open, or else the steam generated will continue inside the boiler forming vacuum. Once pressure is around 3 bar, blow through the gauge glasses and confirm proper water level. Test all boiler safety cutouts and alarm for proper functioning, and check the easing gear for proper functioning. Open main steam stop valve only after draining the proper warming up of main steam line. Open steam to fuel oil heaters and start warming up the heavy fuel oil in preparation to change over boiler from diesel oil to heavy fuel oil. Start feed pump and keep check on the boiler water level. Okay, so these were the steps that we are supposed to follow when we are doing. These are self-explanatory, so that is why because I am trying to make it lucid and simple, because in books generally it is given in, so that is why I am reading, and my idea is not to teach you all together. It's just that what is the surveyor expected answers, I bring it under one umbrella. Slowly we are doing, we are struggling, but still one day we'll be able to come up with all the answers. Okay, but we have plenty contents. Please do support us. Thank you so much. Thank you for your valuable time.